What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ajen back again for another Outerplane video. And for today, let's talk about the buffs for Eliza and Laplace. Because these two 3-star character got a buff after the patch earlier. And Eliza is pretty decent now, in my honest opinion. Her buff, let us take a look at her buff. This one, the Bloody Roar. This one, it has the Pure Blood's Dominion now, which is this is the passive effect. So inflicts bleeding on a random enemy for 2 turns while ignoring resilience, and grants Pure Blood's dominions to all allies at the start of the battle. This effect cannot be removed. Now, this one is the added buff for Eliza, which is pretty good because this is a guaranteed bleed on the very first turn. Yes, on a random enemy. So this one is pretty RNG dependent. If you try to use Eliza in arena or in any PvE content that has a lot of mobs, but in the case of guild raids, this one is pretty darn powerful. Why? Because she has a lot of really good synergy with the Bleed Trinity, which is Francesca and also Beth. Because those two characters can deal a massive amount of damage if the enemy has bleed debuff, and this one is a guaranteed bleed, so you are guaranteed to proc your their Beth and Francesca's skills that requires bleed debuff, which is really powerful. So she is a really good support now, and not only that one, she is somewhat a really good opener in PvP. But there are some problems with Eliza by using Eliza in the PvP. What is it? I will show you some clips I've recorded just earlier. This one, I decided to recall some of my heroes and use it on Eliza to raise her. And I've been using some of my best speed gear. As you can see, the guaranteed bleed is here. It turns out the guaranteed bleed goes into Rin. It's pretty random. You cannot choose whose character will get the bleed. But this one cannot be cleansed by Tio, and also, as you can see, you have some buffs, right? This buff is called Pure Blood's Dominion. So when an enemy inflicted with bleeding performs an action, increases priority by 10%. Cannot be removed until Eliza is defeated. So, if you build Eliza as a really tanky support character, then she might probably be giving your team lots of priority, taking their turns more than the enemy does. That is what I can think with regards to how good this Pure Blood's Dominion is. But in high tier ranking PvP, I think she will not last that long. She's very squishy. You cannot build her really tanky unless you can protect her. But yeah, as you can see here, also one of the main problems of Eliza is that Tio exists. Because even though she can proc her bleed debuff now more frequently, it's still not good in the pace of Tio, because Tio will just cleanse those debuffs. But this guaranteed bleed cannot be cleansed. As you can see, it's still on Rin, right? It is still on Rin, and it's still not cleansable. Which what makes Eliza really good now is because of this one that cannot be cleansed. But it only has a 2-turn cooldown. It has a 2-turn cooldown. Maybe I have not tested this one yet in a boss fight because I don't know if the bleed once run out, it will come back again once the cooldown already is ready. Maybe someone can fill me out with this one, but yeah, Eliza now is really darn good. And since she is a ranger, she has a really good speed based stat. As you can see, I'm using my fastest gear, and this is the fastest speed that I can get her. 292 speed, pretty darn decent compared to my other characters. And I try to level up her Bloody Roar, this one, because this one can also inflict lots of bleeding to your enemy. And by increasing this one, it has a 100% chance, although there's still some RNG factor to it, so you might need some effectiveness in your Eliza. But all in all, Eliza's buff is pretty darn decent. What about Laplace? They gave buff to Laplace, but Laplace is still meh. The buff that they gave her is this one, the Grand Blue Punishment. So they've added the increased effectiveness for 2 turns. The increased effectiveness amounts to 100%. And they reduced the cooldown by 1 more round. Before, it was only at cooldown na 5 turns. Now it becomes 4 turns. So those are the only buffs that they gave to Laplace, which is kinda lackluster in my honest opinion, because effectiveness works if you are a debuffer, right? And the only debuff that Laplace can do in the enemy is reduce the attack, which is kind of meh. This one, reduce attack, is pretty meh in my honest opinion. Even with burst, this one, there is no other debuff that she can inflict to the enemy. So yeah, Laplace is still pretty lackluster with regards to the buff that they gave her, but her main selling point is the skill chain. This one, because this one is a HP cut, or guaranteed 8% fixed damage to the target's max health. This one is pretty OP in guild raids. And that is why I rated Laplace at the SS tier in my PBE rankings in my tier list, because of this one. Because this one is broken, guys. This one is really powerful, especially if you can spam this one. But we will see if we can spam this one now, because they changed the generation effect for the CP generation. We will see when the guild raid starts if this one is still pretty OP. So yeah, those are the buffs that Eliza and Laplace gets. And I think between the two, Eliza is the winner. But still, Eliza still has some problems facing against a lot of characters in the arena, especially Tio. The existence of Tio is what really holding back Eliza's full potential. But maybe if you can transition from Valentine into Eliza, she will be able to proc the bleed debuff, and that bleed debuff might be able to best out those pesky, tanky bruiser in arena. Also, this Stella exists. If this Stella activates her revenge, he's dead. She's very squishy. She's gonna die. Well, anyway guys, I think that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you could help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.